Hi, I'm Wendy Ladd, and welcome to the Fabulous Fit and Fantastic Show. We are live here today at thatchannel.com, so I am very grateful for everybody that tuned in at 2:15. The energy is huge here, and there's a lot of sexy going on, so it took us a little bit of time to get ready. So it's going to be a rockin' show. It's totally fabulous, and my guests today are definitely fantastic. So today I've got Sharmila Perera. I've also got Liz McCallum. And for the first time ever on the Fabulous Fit and Fantastic Show, I have a co-host named Stephanie Augustine from Sexy Plus Clothing. And that is definitely a website that you want to make as your favorite. I love this woman. I met Stephanie almost a year ago, and she was my first guest on my show. She was actually a model, and she was actually modeling her own clothing. And Sexy Plus Clothing has turned into a huge fashion statement. I've bought some of her boots, her awesome jewelry, and she is making a difference around the world. So there is nobody greater and better today than to be my co-host to interview Liz McCallum. So I'm excited for that. So today's women on my show are a great, great example of perseverance, success, and making things happen and changing lives. All of them are making a huge difference. So for me today is extremely special for me to have, especially Sharmila and Stephanie. I'm just meeting Liz today. We met and it was awesome. Sharmila and Stephanie, I was able to share with them at my May 11th Fabulous Fit and Fantastic VIP night how much they changed my life. So there's a great story there, because you live your life doing what you do every day, and you don't realize that when you meet a stranger that you actually make a huge difference. And then what happens is you're no longer strangers, you become friends, and then you exchange the information of what they've done in your life. And that's what I did for both of them. I took them aside and shared with them how much what they do make a difference for me. So I am excited, like more than you can even imagine, that I have these two ladies here today on my show. So what I want to do, I must give a quick shout out to the Everest College in Newmarket. I had the pleasure of speaking on July the 11th to the massage graduation class. And I'm telling you, I went thinking that I was going to do something for them, and wow, they did something for me. So Selena, cahoots to your graduation class, and I wish everybody very much success in your journey of everything that you're doing. So a big shout out to everybody at the Everest College. Another big shout out to autocareersgroup.com. We are making a difference there. We are helping people get jobs, and it's such a rewarding thing. Autocareersgroup.com, you got to go there. There's at least 100 positions in the automotive industry that I'm sure one of them might suit you or somebody that you know. So they're really making a difference there. And the last thing is a celebrationofwomen.org with Catherine Clark. 210 countries, full charity. Things are happening there daily, getting all the updates. You want to go to a celebrationofwomen.org. You want to sign up for the email, and you definitely want to get all the updates. And if you feel that you are a woman of action, or you know somebody that could be a fabulous woman of action, please send an email and she will get in touch with you. So a really great thing is Fabulous Fit and Fantastic has its own YouTube. Thank you to Randy Thomas, who has downloaded all the videos. I think there's like 87 videos there. All of the guests from the show are there, and some of my favorites, and some of the summer shake breaks will be there as well, an infomercial that we did for the Black & Decker blender. So please go there. I know that Dan's putting it up right now, but share that link with as many people as you can, because once we hit 1,000, my sponsor is going to do a new level of TV here with the green screen, which is going to be so, so exciting. We've also changed the Facebook group actually to a like page, which I would like for you to go to if you can. It's just Fabulous Fit and Fantastic. And I just want to say thank you to every single person since the last show that has emailed me. I had 214 emails in one day on my website, people commenting about all the great things that are happening there. And that website, I'm telling you, is for you. To learn about pHing, to learn about the body applicators, and to learn how you can get your belief candle. It's something that I'm giving away to everybody that goes to the website. So I'm grateful to everybody that's taken the time out to go to wendyladd.com. And I really want to get started because we've got lots of energy. Like I said, we got a lot of sexy, and we're going to be coming back with my first guest, Sharmila. So we're going to take a quick break and show one of the Summer Shake infomercials. So welcome back. We're here at the Fabulous Fit and Fantastic Show, and we are live at thatchannel.com. And I'm excited to share with you my first guest, Sharmila Perera. So welcome, Sharmila, to the show.
Thank you, Wendy.
I'm so glad that you came. You know, I was sharing just a little bit before here, you know, the journeys that everybody's life is on. And you came into my life, actually. I had an event. And you came to an event to see somebody else, actually.
Yes.
And we actually got to meet each other. And then I ended up at one of your events. And we actually had lunch. We had lunch that day. And that luncheon actually made a huge difference for me. And you didn't even realize what a difference it made. So months and months later, I had the opportunity to share with you how much you actually made a difference in my life. So thank you for that, for just being who you are.
You're very welcome.
So having you as my guest today is extremely humbling and exciting for me. So I want to share you with the world. So just tell me a little bit about yourself. You know, you came to Canada 10 years ago and you've got a wonderful, wonderful story. So just share a little bit.
Okay, so you already told my name. So the next step is basically to let you know who I am. Well, at the best of times, I am a bit of a hurricane and a little bit chaotic at times. Actually, I forgot my jacket and I came to the studio and I told myself, oh my God, I don't have my jacket. So I had to run across to Bay and buy this jacket for $250.
Oh,
Can you
did?
believe that? Anyway, that's a little bit about me. But seriously, I wear many hats. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, married to a wonderful man who supports me in everything that I do. I have 3 kids, 21, 19, and 13. The last 10 years, I landed in Canada about 11 years ago. And Wendy, the last 10 years has been a journey for me.
Yeah.
It has had its ups, it has had its downs, made great friendships, lost some friendships. But I can truly say that who I am today is because of the last 10 years of my life.
Absolutely. Why don't we just give a shout out to your husband and your children?
Hello!
What are their names?
My husband is Rohan.
Yes.
And my son is Chris.
Yes.
My older daughter is 19 and she's Trisha.
Yes.
And my youngest is 13 and she's Tasha.
And she's gorgeous. I saw her. I met her at
Yeah.
the Stiletto for
Yes,
the Cure with Tina
yes.
Desi. Awesome. So you have a great story because you're into immigration law, and I know that you had worked for a lawyer and you had studied a little bit of law.
Yes.
So just tell us a little bit, how did you become interested in immigration law, and how did it lead to setting up your own immigration consulting firm? I know that's a big question,
Right.
but take your time and just explain, how did you first get interested in immigration law?
Okay, so I was actually always in corporate law, but when I came to Canada, we needed to do what we had to do. So I joined a law firm. I went into the corporate world, which was pretty alien to me.
Yeah.
Realized that there's a lot of mean people out there.
Yeah.
But I survived it all. But once I actually got laid off 3 times.
Wow.
Then I decided, you know what, I can't take this anymore. I'm going to set up my own firm. One of the law firms that I worked in actually did immigration law as well as corporate law. So I was introduced to immigration law at that firm, and I really loved it. It was something that I could relate to myself because I was actually new in the country.
Right.
And I started studying it, and later on got my licenses and my qualifications. About 2 years down the line, I set up my immigration consulting firm while I was still working full-time.
Wow, that must have been easy.
It was very difficult.
Yeah.
I worked from the basement of my home,
Yeah.
working to the wee hours of the morning because I had a day job and I had to work my immigration business in the night. So it was really difficult, but it was something that I love to do, so I did it. Fortunately, within about 1 year, I was able to leave my full-time job and work full-time on my business.
Awesome. Doing immigration.
Doing immigration. So it was great. I still worked from my basement office until I knew
Yeah.
I had made it out there in order for me to get away from home and set up my own office,
Yeah.
which I did within a period of 1 year. and I set up my first international office within 2 years, which was in Sri Lanka. And it was really great because I am from Sri Lanka and I got to go back and forth.
Wow.
So it was wonderful, and it was a big step for me.
How did an office in Sri Lanka come about? Like, it's not like it's just close down the street.
No, it's not. But because I'm from there,
Yeah, you had connections?
I have the connections. I know the market.
Yeah.
And so Southeast Asia became my main market. And of course, for immigration itself, the statistics show that most of the people come from Southeast Asia and from Asian countries. So
Yes,
for
they
me,
do.
it was the perfect market. So after opening my office, my first international office in Sri Lanka 2 years from when I started my business, I actually opened several other offices. My husband who was actually working at another firm, joined me within about 5 years, and it was a huge leap of faith for us
yeah.
because he was earning well. He didn't really like what he was doing, so it was really great that he could come and join me. But it was a huge leap of faith for us because there was no steady income.
Yeah.
We were both in one business, so it was hard. But I believe in those leaps of faith because if you are comfortable and if you're in that one place all of the time, you never succeed. You never get to that next step.
Right.
So leaps of faith for me are huge. So we took that and we really grew after that because now I didn't need to do everything on my own.
Yeah.
So we then expanded. We went into Bangladesh. We have 3 offices in
Wow.
India. We have offices in Philippines.
And do you get to travel there?
I travel all over.
Yeah, I see on your Facebook all these pictures. You're always traveling. So that's what you're doing when you're traveling.
Yes.
So what do you do when you go there?
I actually hold seminars. I let people know what it is, what Canada is all about, how great it is to live here, what opportunities they can have, and basically assess them and see
Help
if they are able to come to Canada. Then of course the legal paperwork that we have to do follows that. But basically it is seminars. But for me, the ride has been a roller coaster. Ups, downs, lots of successes, lots of failures. Because when I actually started my immigration firm, my sole purpose was to do enough business to put food on the table. I wasn't interested in business plans or marketing plans or any of that kind, right? Because I first didn't know who to go to, and I didn't know who to seek advice or help from.
Yeah.
So it became a rocky road when you're growing, because if you don't have your foundation right, then it gets a rocky road. So I've learned this through continuous education and built little pieces of my foundation together with my business.
So I'm going to go back to when you said that you got laid off 3 times, because you know what? They say 3 times is a charm.
Mm-hmm.
And if you hadn't have got laid off and something, we all consider being laid off might not be the greatest thing, but it happened to you enough that it actually made you go forward. And it made me reflect on a book that I just started reading by Charmaine Hammond called, it's called Bounce Forward. Mm-hmm. But yours was actually failing forward. You bounced forward. Mm-hmm. And most people think that you actually bounce back, and you actually bounce forward. So that's why I shared at the beginning that you're a great, great woman to share perseverance. Because you've got, I'm going to say, cahoots. You've got big cahoots. So what's been the greatest part of it all? Like, what's been the most rewarding for you with all that going on?
With my immigration business, the most rewarding part is knowing that I create dreams. So for most people, it is a dream to come to Canada and make it their home. Yeah. So it's very, very rewarding in that sense. But Wendy, it's not only about creating dreams. It's about giving people a place safe enough to live. Because some people are coming from war-torn countries like me. Yeah. And it's creating a different lifestyle. It's basically creating that space where you can grow with whether it's your business or your career, or whether it's to grow even personally, where you have a safe place to practice your religion. Whatever it is, it's a lifestyle, a dream that I create for these people, and there's nothing more satisfying and rewarding than seeing my client's face or hearing my clients'
stories.
And
how their lives changed. So, what didn't you say, Sharmila, that you're a hope giver?
You could say that.
You probably wouldn't say that because you're too humble, but I would say that Sharmila is a hope giver. And I think for me, the day I had lunch with you, you gave me hope. Oh. And even though you weren't really doing that, you did. Oh, so as I've got to watch you, through your journey, and for the last year or so, you actually give a lot of people hope. So I think that's a really, really great thing, because you do it naturally.
Thank you,
You're a
Wendy.
natural hope giver. So
Thank you.
I know one of the greatest things in your life, though, is a company that you've created called Perfectly Me Incorporated. So just share with the viewers, how did Perfectly Me Incorporated come about?
Okay. Well, I'm not who I was never who I am now, right?
Yeah.
I'm a different person altogether.
Grown.
And I think, yes, I've grown tremendously.
Yes.
And who I am today is because of the last 10 years of my life, as I said.
Yes.
And I was a person who people could push over. I I was not shy, but I think you can say that I didn't really, I don't know, I was not
Did you
confident.
not stand up for yourself? So
yes,
you didn't take the bull by the horns.
Exactly. I was not a
People walked over
confident
you?
person, right? Yes.
Yeah.
And let people push me around and stuff like that.
No more pushing Sharmila.
No more
way.
pushing me around.
What's that show with, don't put, what's the show? I say it all the time with Dirty Dancing. Nobody puts Baby in a Box, her name.
Correct.
When she had that thing. Nobody put Sharmila in a box. So.
Right. So I grew into the kind of person I am today. And
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
And it's because I let other people's beliefs,
Yes.
actually other people's opinions, become my belief.
Oh.
And I love Lisa Nichols, and you love her too, I know that. And I love the way she says this. She says, other people's opinions
Yes.
are none of your business.
No, they're not. I saw that on her Facebook status too.
Yeah.
And you know what you just said actually about belief is I have a famous candle, and I just gave it to Dan today actually, and I gave it to everybody at my Fabulous Fit and Fantastic VIP Appreciation Day. For my last year of my life, my biggest lesson has never put your belief in somebody else greater or before the belief in yourself. And one of my girlfriends made a candle out of it, and I've been just giving it away like crazy. So that goes with what you just said. As soon as you allow somebody else's belief to become yours, you completely close yourself down. So good for you.
Correct.
Yeah.
So Perfectly Me came from that, that place of my heart,
Awesome.
where, like you, Fabulous Fit and Fantastic, it's not about the how you look. It's not about whether you're black or white.
Yes.
It's not about whether you're fat or thin.
Yeah.
It's about being perfectly happy with the imperfect you.
Correct.
Right.
That's awesome.
And that's how that came into being. And I set it up.
And that website is perfectlyme.ca. So we're just going to show your website quickly. So if you want to make that one of your favorites, absolutely, perfectlyme.ca. And the website actually for the immigration is AnnArbor.com. So we've also got that as well. I know whenever Dan gets a chance, he can put that up. But those are two websites that you want to make your favorite, absolutely, so that they can be in contact with you as well. But what is your greatest passion? Like, I just heard from you the other day when I was reading an email, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I had no idea about that. And isn't that the greatest thing, where every day you get to learn something new about somebody? So tell us all about your greatest passion, the Sea of Hope. It's awesome.
Well, I'm a really complicated
Awesome.
person. So I have lots of passions and wants and needs and all kinds of stuff going on in my head, 500 ideas running around in my head at one given point of time. But I've taken the last 3 months actually to reflect on what I actually want to do in the next probably 20 years of my life.
Yeah.
And to kind of zone down on what exactly are my passions.
Yes.
And what exactly do I want to do with these passions. So I know that two of my greatest passions are immigrants and women. And I will continue with my business, Ann Arbor Immigration, because it is to do with immigrants. I will also continue my work with women through Perfectly Me, and also through the Power of Women Exchange, in which I was a director for the last couple of years.
Do you want to actually touch on that a little bit? How that
Sure.
inspired you?
Sure. What
Yeah.
happened was, when I incorporated Perfectly Me, I had no idea, because I work so much like a frog in the well. I never went out of my community, and I didn't know where to find clients, women, for my business. And I stumbled upon this organization called the Power of Women Exchange. And I don't believe in mistakes. I always believe in opportunities. And it was great, because it was here a group of women working with each other and trying to, be there for each other both both professionally and personally.
Yes.
And I love that aspect, and I applied to be a chapter director, and that's
Yes.
what I was doing all these years and all these months. And I actually retired last month because I now
Yes.
want to embark
To
on the
broaden
next
your horizons.
chapter of my life. But the connections and the friendships and every thing that I did there has been so great for me, because I know the friendships and connections will be there with me for the next chapter
Forever.
for the next
And
chapter
the founder
of
of
my life.
all of that
Is Tina
is
Desi.
Tina Desi. So
And
big shout out to Tina Desi.
Tina Desi
Mwah.
and Leah Bandola. I love them.
Yes.
They're so great. And Tina has been one of my business mentors and still is. We
Yeah.
took a trip to Dallas last week, and it was
There was a
great.
huge event, so big shout out to a Power of Women Exchange.
Yes.
Awesome. So that's led you into your Sea of Hope.
Yes, and
Awesome.
I realized so that basically these are my two passions, immigrants and women.
Yes.
But I also know that with my, I need to do something with my life which will give back to society in a way
Yes.
that society cannot give back to me. And I think that's important, because we get so much from society. What are we giving back expecting nothing?
Yes.
So that's my passions, and that's my charitable thing which I want to do. And you know me, I'm a fun person. I also want to do something
Yes,
really
has to be
fun with
fun.
my life. I don't want to do everything that's serious. I
Yeah.
really want to do something fun. So these are the 4 things that I'm trying to lay down for myself in the next couple of months. But with regards to my 2 passions, I am setting up 2 companies. One is a Sea of Hope, which
Yes.
you just talked about. C stands for Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asia. Okay.
And what we do is raise funds in North America for cancer hospitals in Southeast Asia.
Awesome.
So you have no idea, Wendy, because we live in North America. We have it all,
We do.
and we don't realize what people go through on the
through,
other side of
yeah.
the world. The basic thing, like a bed to sleep on in a hospital, sometimes they don't have, and they can
Yeah.
die on the floor.
Take it for granted big time
We
here.
take it for granted.
Huge.
So
Yeah.
we want to raise funds in order to fund these cancer hospitals, in order that they can have the equipment, the beds, the necessary, the medication needed for them. So that's my charitable organization, which I am setting
You
up.
definitely have to connect with Catherine Clark with a celebration of women.
Yes, you were
Make
telling
sure
me
that
about
happens.
that.
So
Yes,
Catherine, if you're watching, which I know you are, Sharmila Perera, you need to get in touch with her.
and that's the amazing thing, Wendy, because you put this out into the world,
Yes.
and all of a sudden all these connections and everything come to you
universe
without
is a
even
wonderful
asking.
place.
Like
Yeah.
it's just amazing. But with regards to immigrants, I'm also setting up another company, and this is both to do with immigrants and women, and that is to fund them to set up their own businesses. So whether it's new immigrants, whether it's women in destitute situations, whether they're sick, or whether they're coming out of a situation like an abusive situation, all of them who need to set up their own business, we will be funding them, doing their business plans, and everything, from ground level upwards. And that is not only done in Canada, but we will be taking that to Southeast Asia as well. So
Oh,
the
wow.
women
You got
in
a
Southeast
big challenge. It's awesome.
It is.
Rewarding.
Yes, it is.
Huge.
It's very rewarding.
Huge.
Yeah, because abuse and
Yeah.
poverty goes hand in hand. And if
Yeah.
we take people out of a poverty situation, then we take them out of an abusive situation as well. So the people in Southeast Asia will be producing like silk scarves, jewelry, purses, toys, and we will be importing them into Canada. And the people here can take those products and sell and get
And
their
that's
money.
handmade.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that's
Wow.
that's how it's
You got
going
a
to be.
lot going on. So I know that you do have something that is kind of like your favorite project. And when I read that, I was like, oh my goodness, it rocks. So just share, what is your favorite project, girl?
Well, as I said, I'm a fun person. I love fun. I love dancing and music, and I love the sea, and I love warm countries. I mean, I love Canada,
Yes.
and I think this is the perfect place to live, except for the winter.
Yes.
By January, I'm like, I'm out of here.
You're out of here.
Right? So I needed to do something fun, which was in a warm place. So last time when I went to India, I met with some people. I made some really great connections and good friends, and they were talking to me about Goa, which is like the Caribbean islands.
Yes.
and it's a wonderful place by the beach, beautiful place. And
love
for
to go
me,
there.
my dream is to have a mini resort, probably like 10 rooms, have an Ayurvedic spa. I don't know if you have heard about Ayurvedic. It's one of the most ancient forms of medicine in India. It's like homeopathy, but a little different. It's wonderful. I love it. Have an Ayurvedic spa. Have parties all the time.
Do you need any guests?
Yes, and I've been talking
I'll volunteer.
Yes,
Put me on the list.
And you know
Put
what?
me, Stephanie, and Liz on the list.
And that's what I've been hearing all the time. And
We'll be there.
It's great because everybody wants to come with me there
Of
for the
course.
winter, right? And
Of
it's like,
course.
let's go party.
Of course we do. We want to party. So, Sharmila, what does the future hold for you? Because, girl, you've got a lot of great things going on, and you're out there making a difference for so many people. And I know there's a lot of people, a tribe of women, especially that are, coming along with you. So, what does the future hold for you?
It just holds so much hope for me.
Yeah.
So much love that I get from everybody that I have connected with.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a very emotional journey for me. So I'm ready.
Is good.
I'm
Emotion is good.
Yeah, I'm totally ready for this.
Yeah.
And as I said, my map is drawn. My car is filled with gas, and I'm ready to roll.
And you've got your family in the back seat.
Yes.
So that you don't make a wrong turn and you don't get lost.
Right. If I make a wrong turn, they're going to be like, okay, that's not the turn. This way.
So how do people get in contact with you? I know that we showed the Ann Arbor website for immigration, and we've also showed perfectlyme.ca for your women connection. And is there a phone number that you want to give out, or an email that people can actually connect with you?
Sure. So my phone number is 647-300-4751.
Okay, awesome.
So that's my cell phone. It can be contactable anytime.
Okay.
And my email address would be Sharmila, which is SHARMILA
Yes.
at perfectlyme.ca.
Awesome. So I'm really excited that you were able to come out with us today, and I know that your family's waiting for you, so we want to give them a big cahoots for being a huge part of your life, because having success in your life is one thing in yourself, but having success at home and with family and friends is completely different, because there are so many people that I know that are trying to have success in their life, and at home the people are holding them back and they're not able to do what they want to do. So God bless everybody in your life for being there and being strong for you, and having the confidence in you, and for letting you be perfectly me. So that's exactly what you are. So
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing with us today, and I hope that everybody does take some time, check out her websites, check out her businesses, and just connect with her. Add her on Facebook. You're on Facebook
Yes,
as well.
definitely.
Lots always happening on Facebook.
Yes.
And we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with Liz and Stephanie, but we're going to take another shake break quick video, and we'll be back in just a flash.